Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich. Count that money, man. Now wipe the crust out of your eyes. Get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Y'all know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. It's draft day, baby. It's draft day. It is here. Draft day. We've gone through all. It feels good. It feels good. Y'all have tapped in from the start of 2022 to this day. I just want to say thank you. We appreciate everybody being here this morning. It's NFL Draft Day 2022. When we started this show off this year, we didn't know what to expect, man. And we were like, what are we gonna do every damn day? Talking fantasy football, talking draft, talking rookies. And before we get rolling, before we do the draft stream tonight, just want to tell everybody that tapped into the show, the thousands of people that watch it, man, we appreciate it. Thank you. It's dope. It's here. I'm happy it's here. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we're already, we're at this process, man, but it's been a fun ride. Me and Jay are just vibing in the back, like jamming out before the stream, but just excited to do this with y'all. Glad y'all rolled with us through this process, and it keeps going, man. Now we get to talk about landing spots. We get to talk about players. We get to talk about team impact. Like, we get to talk football. As we want to do, we get to talk football. We get to do some actual rookie drafts and rookie mocks with landing spots and dynasty startup drafts and just talking football. This is what it's all about. So let's enjoy the day. If you got to go to work today, Go be productive today. Go do a good job at work today so you can come home tonight and enjoy and watch the stream, watch the draft. We're doing the stream tonight. I don't know what time it is. I'll get Jay in the building. But just want to say, man, this is dope. Glad you're here. Jay, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like you said, draft day, we're jumping around in the background.
Yeah.
We're ready for the stream. We're seeing all the people flooding in. They're getting excited. We're getting excited, man. It's draft day.
Yeah.
I'm pumped, though. I'm pumped.
Yeah, we're pumped, man.
It's been a busy as hell week for both of us, trying to put out all this content, extra streams, extra shows, organize it all behind the scenes. But we're finally here, and I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The way that this is going to be set up, the way the draft is shaking out, rumors are still pouring in every day, and we're going to talk through some of that today. But I'm just excited, man. There's just so much speculation, so much unknown. And I'm just excited to see it all unfold. Like you said, we spent all this time analyzing these players, what they could be, how they could fit. Just give me a damn landing spot, and I'll tell you exactly what they're going to do or what I think they're going to do. And it makes a big difference. Finished my first rookie draft, actually, as well yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm pumped. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
Nice.
A lot of the good things going on right now.
Yes, Ray is happy. We are happy. Yes, Lindsey Mack, it's lit. Good morning to you, Luke. Good morning, Shane, Joe, Johnny in the building. Our girl Joe, as always. Alexis, GG, Mike A, always here. She the baddest. That's the wife. She in the building, as always. Man, it's just good. Roro, what's up, baby? Have you baked mac and cheese? Have you never? I don't know what Ro's talking about. What's up, big dog? Yeah, I mean, it's the draft. I really, at right now, it's just the calm before the storm, right? I think we're getting some clarity. I think you're getting some clarity on at least what the top 2, 3, 1. I don't even know. I don't even know if there's any clarity besides Trayvon Walker looks like he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. I saw you tweet this morning, Jay, that you think the draft starts at 6 with Carolina. Yeah. I still think it starts with Detroit. I don't know what they're going to do, man. I have no damn clue what the Lions are going to do. Is it going to be Malik? Are they going to take the hometown? If Walker goes 1 to Jacksonville, can Detroit pass on the hometown kid, Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan? I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think it starts at 2. We did a draft challenge inside the Destination Devy Discord, patreon.com/allgas, where how many players did we have? 40 players? I think it was 40 players.
I think it was closer to 50. It was
50
a lot
players.
of
I don't even know if it was that many, but 40 or 50. Let me say 40 or 50. And all you had to do was just pick the team that's going to draft those players. Jay, I literally was just going through all of the 50. They're either going to the Jets, the Lions, the Texans, the Giants. Like, I have no clue where these players are going to end up going. No damn clue, man. I still, again, you think Detroit has settled on a pick? You think it's going to be Thibodeau? I saw you agreeing with Elliot Chris this morning.
I don't think it's going to be Thibodeau, but I think they've decided on an edge rusher. So, like you said, Trayvon Walker probably going 1. We saw reports about that. But I think they've decided it's going to be Thibodeau or it's going to be Aiden Hutchinson. So then we've seen reports that Houston is very much into Derek Stingley, which is interesting. We don't think they're going to go after a quarterback. They could maybe go offensive line. And so I think that's where it is. But the reason why I said I think it starts with Carolina is because Carolina has the 6th pick and they don't have another pick until the 4th round. So their pick is so important. They need a quarterback so badly, and they are one spot where if someone wants to trade up, I think that's where you go. But I was talking with Gene and Ike yesterday on Off the Line, and it's like, who's the team that's going to bail out the Panthers and give them extra draft capital? And Elliott proposed it be the Chiefs to go up and get Jameson Williams. And I was like, wow, I never thought of that at all. But what Elliott's point was, and I do agree, Carolina is the most logical spots to trade down in the draft. But the question is, who is it going to be? And what's that draft capital going to look like for Carolina if they do decide to trade down?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Kansas City, I saw that this morning. Kansas City trading both their first to move up to 6 to take Jameson Williams. You think that's in play? I don't know, man.
I think it's 100% in play, right?
Okay.
I think that they want JMO. Like, you think about their offense and what they need. They need the speed player, and that's Jameson Williams. Whether or not they can get him with just those 2 picks, I don't know. But there's not a lot of teams trying to trade up to 6, right? Like, and not a lot of teams want to give Carolina that draft capital because they know they don't have any, and they know they want to trade down. And so it's an ideal situation for a trade up and a team that wants to trade down more so, I think, than any other team, other than maybe Seattle. But it is a team actually going to pay them what they want. And the Chiefs may just be desperate enough for another playmaker that they do make that move and go and get Jameson Williams at 6. And so that's why, for me, I think that's where the chaos could really begin, where we get our first trade up. I think the rest, the picks may be surprising. We're not going to see anything crazy, but seeing what Carolina does, knowing how important it is to that team, is where, for me, I'm going to be really intrigued what that move ultimately becomes.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting. So let's just talk about it real quick and just give sort of our predictions. I know the books have the over-under quarterbacks in round 1 at, I believe, 3.5 is the over-under, or is it 2.5? I think DK has it at 2.5 over-under.
It's 2.5 for the most part, but It's heavily juiced to the over right now. They haven't moved the line so much, but they've just moved the juice for it. But yeah, it's about 2.5 right now.
Wait, what did you? I still think, Jay. I think we're going to see 4 tonight. I think we're going to see 4 in round 1. I think it's going to be Matt Corral, not Sam Howell. Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, and Desmond Ridder. I think those are the 4 that are going to go in round 1. And I'm not saying they deserve to go in round 1, but I can't. I'm having a hard time seeing Malik Willis fall to 20. Like, I just don't know if he's going to fall to 20. I don't think so, man. I think
he could. I don't think it's crazy. But so what's your order? That's what I'm more curious about is what is your order? Those are your 4. What's your order? Because I think for me, I still think Malik probably goes first, but I could see a world where Corral or Pickett goes second, and then I think Ridder goes third, and then the other one. Well, no, but Pickett should be 2 or 3. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go Malik, Corral, Pickett, and then Ridder at the back of the first. That's what I think's gonna happen. I think I could see
Pickett.
I could see Corral jumping Pickett. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to be Malik, Pickett, Ridder, Corral. That's how I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go Malik, Pickett, Ridder, Corral. Ridder's getting a ton of buzz in the middle of the first round. Corral, listen, he's at the NFL draft today. I saw Cody Carpentier. Shout out to Cody. Yep. He's at the draft. He talked to him and was like, what are these thoughts you're hearing? And Corral was like, look, I'm confident. If I didn't think I was going to go round 1, I wouldn't be here today. I got intel. If I didn't believe that I was going to get drafted today, I wouldn't be here. And I trust that. I trust that, man, to a certain degree, right? I just think he's one. I still think he's one of the best quarter. I think he's the best quarterback prospect in this class. I like him more than Pickett. I like him a little more than Willis. I like him a lot more than Desmond Ritter. I think tonight what we can expect is quarterbacks for fantasy purposes, right? Quarterbacks, wide receivers. That's all we're gonna get from an offensive skill position standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think there's a chance that a running back or two sneak into round one? We saw two go in round one last year. The year before that, we saw, one in 2020? One running back went in 2020. Do you think there's a chance that we get a couple of running backs tonight, or is that going to be all day too?
I'd say maybe 15%, 10%. Like, I'm not going to say no chance, but from what we've been seeing early on in the process, maybe like early March, just after the combine, we saw some Breece Halls in the first round, right, to Tampa Bay, to the Bills. But ever since then, you haven't really seen a ton of that. So for me, I think the top of the second would really make sense for a running back, but not at the back of the first. I just don't see why a team would trade up to get a fifth-year option on a running back. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. It's going to be expensive anyway, so there's no point of really making that move. And so for me, I think it just doesn't make sense, and there's no reason why you do it. You do that for edge rushers, do it for tackles, you do that for quarterbacks, and that's pretty much it. There's no real other reason to trade up for a draft pick. So I don't think so. I mean, I'm assuming you agree, but I don't think we're going to see any.
Somebody said, Mark L said Breece to the Bills at plus 150, which it's not bad. I mean, those aren't bad odds.
It's not bad.
Like,
it's not bad.
So let's have a little fun here. Let's just have a little fun. It's draft day. What are the landing spots for fantasy that get you just excited? Like, and you got to give me player to team. Like, what do you want to see for fantasy that gets you excited? Or you could be negative Nancy on this beautiful day and tell me the spots you absolutely are just dreading taking a quarterback, taking a running back, taking a wide receiver. I'll start. I just don't want to see Drake London to Washington, man. I had a dream about it, man. I'm not even shitting you. Like, I do not want to see him in Washington. I just don't like it, man. I'm not Carson Wentz, Terry McLaurin, that offense. There's probably going to be a QB change next year. I just don't want to see it, man. I do not want to see London in Washington. I don't want to. If there's going to be one that goes there, please let it be Chris Olave. Like, I just don't want it to be London. I don't want it to be Garrett Wilson. I don't want it to be J-Mo. That's a spot that, like, when 11 comes on the board, I'm hoping Kyle Hamilton or an offensive lineman or somebody else is on. I just don't want to see one of these top wideouts to Washington, man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And so the three players, you actually mentioned all the three players that are linked to Washington. It's Kyle Hamilton, Drake London, and Chris Olave. So you do have a shot of not getting them. Maybe a 1-3 right now, the way it stands. Olave should be there. Hamilton might be there, and I think Drake London's probably going to be there. I'm not really sure who my favorite is. I think I do want to see J-Mo go to Philly, though. And it's not necessarily for fantasy purposes, but I do want to see J-Mo go to Philly because I want to see if they open that offense up for Jalen Hurts, and I think that J-Mo would obviously do that. But the other thing is kind of where does he fit in this puzzle? Is he going to be the wide receiver one? There's people projecting, like Elliott projected a Chiefs trade up, which would be amazing. But I still think I'm a little bit, not concerned, but unsure about what that wide receiver 1-2 role is in Kansas City right now, because we've seen it with Tyreek Hill. We don't know what it looks like with J-Mo and now with Juju there. And obviously Travis Kelce still being the guy. Assuming they draft J-Mo at 6, though, he's going to be the wide receiver 1. We've seen what a top 5, top 6, top 10 wide receiver can mean as far as targets. And then the other one is, I've talked about this before, is Garrett Wilson. I want to see him go to Atlanta. I think Atlanta would be a really good landing spot. I think they could potentially take a quarterback. I don't know if you've seen this rumor, but there is a rumor that Jordan Love is being heavily coveted by the Atlanta Falcons. And on top of that, so Jordan Love is apparently being heavily coveted by the Atlanta Falcons right now. And on top of that, apparently there is multiple NFL scouts who think that Jordan Love is a better prospect than any quarterback in the 22 draft class.
What?
Yes. Several scouts apparently have Jordan
TMZ.
Love ranked.
Yes, TMZ takes. I love it. Man. We are the TMZ channel of football, baby. So what is this?
Apparently, several NFL scouts have Jordan Love ranked higher than every 22 quarterback in the class, period. And so that's why apparently there is a large market for Jordan Love, knowing that he's obviously useless on the Packers. If the Packers can get a pick for him, potentially make a move there, we may see something. And so if this is actually true, that all these teams are trying to get Jordan Love, if the Falcons wanted to get Jordan Love for a second or a third round pick, draft Garrett Wilson in the first, that's your new, quarterback wide receiver tandem, Kyle Pitts. Like, there's a situation there that I kind of like. You see what I'm saying?
Bro, you're not playing. Bro. You're serious here. Rumors, several
reported
NFL
by multiple
scouts
sources. Yeah.
Have Packers quarterback Jordan Love ranked higher than any QB in 2022. The Falcons reportedly won't quit on Jordan Love trade discussions, are making the hardest push they've ever made for a player.
See what I'm saying? That would be nuts. And then you think about having Garrett Wilson there, having Kyle Pitts there. I mean, Jordan Love didn't look great in his first start, but for me, I'm willing to take a shot on that. What would you be willing to trade today for Jordan Love? I think that a lot of owners aren't paying attention to this kind of stuff. They're not looking at this kind of news. And so if we're already projecting a potential wide receiver to Atlanta, and then if you want to project further and say, well, what if Jordan Love goes there? That's a pretty good roster. And then maybe they even find a running back in the third round to kind of round out that roster a little bit. That's not terrible. The NFC South is disgustingly awful. But, man, if Atlanta got Jordan Love, they got Garrett Wilson, it's a good start to a rebuild.
Okay. So I agree with Joe. Like, do we know that he's bad? Like, do we actually know that Jordan Love is like real talk? Like, do we know definitively that he's bad? Like, do we know that? Because we saw him play, one or two games in a regular season?
Yeah, it's just the one start that Rodgers missed because of COVID.
I mean, he was a first-round pick, right? He was a first-round pick. I'm just going to say this. That one start didn't look great, but it was one start, right? My thing is, what has Mariota been over the past 3 years? What has he done? I don't know why people are excited about that in Atlanta. Marcus Mariota, he legit has not been good since his rookie season. Like, he's not been good. And he really hasn't been good since he played football at Oregon, and that was like 10 years ago. So, I mean, I guess, like, I don't know. Could he be better than some of the other quarterbacks? I mean, you got cats like Drew Lock starting in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You got Jared Goff rolling out there, Mitch Trubisky, Marcus Mariota. The list goes on and on and on. You know, he didn't get any shot in Green Bay. He was getting no reps in practice. Aaron Rodgers doesn't give a damn about helping the teammate helping. Aaron Rodgers worried about Aaron Rodgers. I'm just asking I think there's so much just we hate him, right? Jordan Love stinks. It's not Jordan Love's fault that the Packers egregiously took him where they did and didn't equip Aaron Rodgers with wide receivers. It's not his fault that they decided to go Jordan Love, A.J. Dillon, and a fullback, H-back tight end as their first 3 picks in 2020, right? If they trade for him, I mean, what are they going to have to give up? Nothing, probably, right? 5th, 6th round pick to get him. I mean,
can't imagine it's much, right? It depends on what the Packers are going to do. They probably still want a backup quarterback, but I mean, if you're going to offer a 3rd round pick for Jordan Love, they might
agree,
take that.
Bro. Like, you're saying wasted a pick. They didn't need a quarterback in round 1, or if they were going to do that, they should have told Rodgers. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is it's not Jordan Love's fault that he ended up there, right? And he has not had a shot. Let me just say this. The last thing I thought we were going to talk about on draft day is Jordan Love. We've been on this topic for 5 minutes, right? This was the last thing I thought we would talk about when I woke up this morning. I guess we'll see. Like, let's if he does get a shot, let's see. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if he's good or bad. I have no clue. All I know is he has not had a shot in Green Bay, and he won't get a shot in Green Bay, and that's just that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, I'm not trying to say like he could be the next big thing, but you could even go as far as to say Ryan Tannehill was another quarterback who didn't really get a fair shake in Miami. And he started, he looked okay, and then he went to another team. Like, 100%. There are quarterbacks who sometimes just need a fresh start, right?
The kid G Money said it. He said it best right here. We've got it planted in our minds that he's no good, right? It's in our mind. He had that one game. We're just like, look, he's no good. He stinks. They shouldn't have drafted him. It's not a matter of if they should or shouldn't have drafted him. I don't think we know if he's good or bad, but it's interesting to see what's going to happen with that. I did not know that was one of the draft rumors. Jay, another spot people are saying that they don't want to see a receiver go is Philadelphia. And I think I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum. I do think it's unfortunate that Philly has had to spend a first-round pick on wide receiver 3 straight seasons. That's not ideal. But I do think they have to get somebody else outside with Devonta Smith. Like, I get it. And here's the good thing, right? Here's the good thing. They are not committed to Jalen Hurts long term. Philadelphia has not given him a contract extension. They're not committed to him long term, and they have multiple assets next year. So if you get a talented wide receiver there, and Jalen Hurts isn't the option, I think he is, but if he's not, it puts him in a good position. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, maybe a Tyler Van Dyke. We've got some other quarterbacks starting to emerge in the 2023 class, and Philadelphia has draft capital next year. If Hurts isn't the guy, they can take a first-round pick, draft a quarterback, and they walk into a wide receiver room of Devonta Smith, Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson, and Dallas Goedert as your outside pass-catching weapons. That's a pretty good situation to be in. So I'm not going to fade any of the wide receivers for landing in these shitty spots that we don't like. I'm just talking about instant reaction and how that tastes in my mouth immediately after them getting picked. Washington is the one that I just don't want. I'm not as concerned about the Jets for some reason, man. The Jets. I think they're going to figure it out, man. Yeah, they've been telling us what they want to do all offseason. They want a receiver. You know what I'm saying? They want somebody. So I think whomever the Jets draft, and I love Elijah Moore, if he's on their roster, whoever the Jets draft at 4 or 6, I don't think it's going to be 4. I meant 4 or 10. I don't think it's going to be 4. I think it's going to be 10. That player is going to be the alpha, or at least have the opportunity to be the one in that offense. I love Elijah Moore. If they draft Drake London or Garrett Wilson, I guarantee you that's probably going to be the primary target getter on that offense. I'm not concerned about the Jets, man.
Yeah, but who do you want to go there? I'm assuming, you want Drake to go there because you want him to not go to Washington. But who do you think that you want to see there?
I think it's going to be Garrett Wilson. I think it's going to be Garrett. I don't think Drake London is going to be on the board. We did our mock draft. I think
you don't think Drake London's going to be on the 10? At
Atlanta.
10? You don't think it's going to be on the board?
I think Atlanta's taking Drake at 8. I think they are going to pair. I think they're going to have just big-ass wide receivers with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. I'm putting it down right now. Atlanta is drafting Drake London at 8 tonight. If Drake is on the board at 8, I believe Atlanta takes Drake London at 8. I don't think he's on the board at 10. Therefore, I think the player that the Jets will have to select will be Garrett Wilson. And then when the Commanders are on the board, they'll take Chris Olave and save everybody. I think Drake London's coming off the board to Atlanta at 8.
Okay, so then let's figure this out then. Let's complete the board a little bit with some of these wide receivers. So you have Drake London at 8. Are you saying first wide receiver off the board?
Yes.
Would you say that J-Mo would then go at 9 to Philly? No. So you're saying, because then
Philly
you're saying that
J-Mo pick.
Well, they could have the 9th pick if
man, they're not going to trade up. I don't think they'll trade up. I think they're sitting at 15.
Because at that point, if you're Washington, are you taking Chris Olave when you could take Jameson Williams? Right? If we're playing the game right now, you have Drake London at 8, you have Garrett Wilson at 10, and then you have Chris Olave at 11. I mean, realistically, they'd probably take J-Mo. J-Mo's a better receiver, or maybe they go Kyle Hamilton. But then where would you peg J-Mo down the line? Would you peg him to Philly at 15? Would you peg him to New Orleans, maybe trading up?
Yep, I don't think he's getting. If J-Mo's on the board at 15, I don't think that he's going to fall past Philly. The Philly's kind of said it.
There's no way.
They prefer him, right? So I think Jameson Williams would go at 15. And in this assumption of London to Atlanta, that means I don't believe Malik Willis will be on the board. And I started the show off saying I don't think he's falling to 20, man. I don't think he's falling to 20. The only way is if somebody bails Carolina out, because Carolina probably doesn't want to make that pick.
I have him going to Carolina. I think
where
that
I have
no one's going to bail him out, and that's where I have him.
I have him going to Carolina as well. I don't think Detroit does it. Matt Rule, they bypassed quarterback last year. I've been saying it this entire draft cycle. I do not believe they can walk into this season with Sam Darnold and sell that bullshit to the team that they're trying to compete. Not with Sam Darnold. And if they can't work out a trade to move down from 6, they're taking a quarterback. And I think the quarterback that they will take is Malik Willis, man. They need somebody, man. They need somebody.
Yep. And on top of that, there was more speculation of the Steelers. They've been talking to the Giants and they've been talking to Carolina. For the longest, we were talking about how the draft starts at 5 with the Giants and kind of what they want to do. But you're seeing more of that. The Steelers potentially trading up. They don't trade up a ton though, so it would be a little bit surprising. But I do have him going to Carolina because I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be moving all the way up that high to take Malik Willis. So I am with you on that. I don't love that landing spot for Malik Willis, but I think you're right. if no one's willing to go and get him, they have to take Malik, because I think they're just shooting upside, shooting ceiling, praying that Malik Willis can be the guy to save all their jobs in Carolina.
So can I just homer TMZ this for a little bit? I got the Cowboys gear on. How devastating of a defense would it be to have, just think about the 3 levels of this. Kayvon Thibodeau up front, Micah Parsons off the edge in the middle part of the defense, and then Trayvon Diggs in the back half, just ball hawking passes,
allowing touchdowns all day long, yards. Okay, listen. So I have a question for you though. We can talk about this some more, because I do think it's a possibility. Ike dismissed. Was it Ike? No, it was Gene who dismissed it yesterday. Entirely dismissed it. Okay. Doesn't believe it. Ike wants to see it happen. But the question I asked both of them is, where would you peg that trade up to be though? Because that's the issue, that when I'm mocking and I'm looking at mocks, I don't know how he gets. Like, is Dallas going to come all the way up to like Carolina at 6? There's no way in hell they have the capital to go up that high, unless they really want to just say, F them picks, full leverage, go for it. But what's the pick that you would peg a Thibodeau trade up at? Like, I've talked about Houston at 13, Baltimore at 14, maybe Washington at 11, but I feel like you'd have to overwhelm, because in division trades, things like that. I don't know where that really makes sense, unless maybe they wanted to go up to Seattle at 9. But I think, again, more draft capital to go into the top 10. So I'm iffy on that. But I think you're right, though, about
all of y'all out there talking that shit about Trayvon Diggs. He's a liability. He allows touchdowns. Every last one of you jokers, if Trayvon Diggs was on the block or on free agency, you'd want your favorite team to have him. Stop it. Stop it. I don't care how many passes he allows. Jalen Ramsey allows a bunch of catches too, but you still want that guy. When you've got the ball skills of Diggs, I don't care. I don't care how many passes he allows. Like, give me the guy that's gonna get interceptions and turn into a wide receiver when he has the ball. And yes, I am playing with fire right now, streaming with that on in the background, but we got to test it out. So if it breaks down, oh fucking well. We've been on for 30 minutes. I'm not gonna redo the stream. We'll be on tonight and tomorrow, but we got to test stuff out. I think Dallas would have to get to 10. I don't think, even if Thibodeau fell, like, let's just say Thibodeau fell for whatever reason, which he shouldn't. And I've said this for months, Jay. Any pick that he goes after 101 is a steal. If he's not the number 1 overall pick, he's a steal. Go watch Kayvon Thibodeau and tell me that that's not the guy that looks like should be the number 1 overall pick. I think Aiden Hutchinson is a good defensive end, very physical, aggressive, high motor kind of guy. You watch Kayvon Thibodeau play. Dude is special, man. He is special, and he does it in the run support and getting after the quarterback. That 45-degree bend off the edge looks Von Miller-esque, man. That's the dude I want. But I think you got to get to 10. I think you got to get to 10 in order to make that happen. If I'm sitting at 11 and I'm Washington, or who's picking at 12, Minnesota, some shit like that. Like, if he's there, you got to take him, man. Like, you can't let him fall. So Dallas, it's a pipe dream, right? They're down at 24. Dallas is not known for trading up like that. The last time we did that, we took the first defender off the board. I believe it was 2011, and that was Morris Claiborne. That did not work out well for Dallas. Mo was okay, wasn't worth the number 6 overall pick. So it's a pipe dream. It's probably not going to happen, but I want it to. I want to will it into existence that somehow, if Kayvon Thibodeau, if tonight Thibodeau is a Dallas Cowboy, I'm coming in full fucking Cowboys regalia tomorrow. I'm talking about shoulder pads, jersey, helmet. I'm just pants off if we somehow land Kayvon Thibodeau, but I don't think it's going to happen. So as a Cowboys fan, I hope they solidify the offensive front, because it's a problem, right? It is no Connor Williams, no La'el Collins. Tyron Smith will be injured at least 13 games next year. All we have is Zach Martin and Tyler Biadasz. So really hoping we somebody said you're already in all Cowboy stuff. No, Mike, you ain't seen the half of it yet, big dog. You ain't seen the half of it. I'll go put on my old college shoulder pads and we'll rock this shit out. All right. What's Joe have? Joe is let's see. Daniel Jeremiah says there's 2 competing wide receiver philosophies. Basketballers, where different wide receivers have exclusive duties and talent. Soccer players, where the wide receivers are interchangeable and do the same. Interesting right here.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And I think, we can start penciling in some of these guys that fit these molds, right? It's interesting, man. Okay. Jay, where else would you like to see? Let's talk to running backs, right? What are the best case outcomes for the running backs? Don't think it's going to happen tonight, but tomorrow. So let me pull up a draft board and just kind of talk about Hall, Walker, and at this point, a lot of the stuff that we talked about in February kind of doesn't. I mean, it matters a little bit, but like, what do you think is going to happen, man?
So I think, and I was talking about this with Gina Knight yesterday. I think that I believe we see Breece Hall off the board at 37 to the Jets, but that also could mean we see Kenneth Walker off the board at 36 to Houston. So I think those two guys are going to be the first two early second round as our top two running backs off the board. And I just think it's the fit, right? I think that Kenneth Walker fits better in Houston and what they're going to want to do versus Breece Hall, who I think fits better on the Jets and kind of the philosophy that they're going to run on offense.
So this is going to be, I think running backs are going to fly off the board. So here are the teams. Let's just go through the order in round 2, right? 35 Jets, 37 Texans, 38 Jets, Seahawks, back-to-back picks 40 and 41, Atlanta 43. So within the first 10 picks of the second round, Atlanta needs a running back. Seattle could potentially need a running back. The Jets have 2 shots at getting a running back. And then the Houston Texans at 37, they need a running back. I think they're going to fly off the board early second. And we continue to see this trend over the past couple of years. In 2020, we saw DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor come off the board quite early in round 2, followed by J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers a little bit later. So, you know, if Buffalo's going to take one, their first shot is 57. And we keep talking about it. 55, Arizona, 57, Buffalo, 58, Atlanta, 62, Kansas City.
Do you think they could trade down into the second?
Who's this? Buffalo? Yeah, absolutely. Smart franchise.
I think
man.
that could be an interesting trade move. You know, going from, and it's not like it's the back of the first. I believe it's 25, right? So it's not even necessarily a terrible pick. But you know, you move back to somewhere in the late 30s, and you can still pick up a running back that you want. It'd be an interesting spot for them because I haven't seen that move made at all. But I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, you see some Dax Hill going there. You see some other guys potentially going there. It doesn't seem like there's a perfect fit for Buffalo, and so trading down and getting some more assets would make a lot of sense.
Well, let's talk Washington real quick. The Commanders have a pick at 47. All right, and there's a lot of smoke. Joe, you know we love you. You are our resident DD first lady here of the channel. One of them. We got 3 first ladies of the DD channel. But you don't believe that Washington is going to select a running back early. Neither do I. I don't think they're going to take one early. I think they are going to take one, but I don't think they're going to take one early. Do you think 47 is the spot where Washington's going to what do you make of this whole Antonio Gibson shit, man? Like there's this large contingency out there that thinks they want to replace him. I don't know about that, man. I don't think they would. I think they need another back. Like I don't think Jarrett Patterson is the answer, and you know, you need insurances, you need protection, but I don't think they want to get rid of Gibson. I don't think they want to replace Antonio Gibson. I don't think they're going to take a back at 47. That's what we talked about this during the mock. I think they're going to take one later in the draft. I think they'll take a guy to spell him, to be somebody that if Gibson does go down, that they could roll him out there and he can start and be serviceable. But I mean, going into year 3, he's young, he's talented. I don't see them spending. Now, they did bring in all the damn running backs, right? They brought in Spiller, they brought in Walker, they brought in Hall, doing their due diligence. And I'll just say, you only get 30 pre-draft visits, so I highly doubt you just did that just for fun. Like, let's just bring him in for smokescreen. But I don't think they're taking one at 47. Not top 50, man. No way. No way they do that. Maybe. I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, I think they'd be more. Right. I think they'd be more in the market for a safety there. The safeties in that spot I love. Like honestly, anyone who gets a safety in the 40s, I think is getting a steal of a draft pick. But as far as your point about the running back in Washington overall, I do think there's something to that, right? Bringing all the running backs, like you said, and you know, just trying to get a tandem that really works. Because they have Antonio Gibson and they like him, clearly. That's why he plays a ton. But they're clearly not satisfied with their overall room and kind of how it looks like. And I think part of that is the versatility. You see what Antonio Gibson can do on the ground, and it's okay. It's not perfect, though. He's probably better served in the receiving game, and yet they haven't really used him that way, maybe because of pass protection, maybe because they just prefer J.D. McKissic. But I think they're trying to get a little bit younger there and find a true complement that they can just roll in and day out. The issue with McKissic, he's struggled with injuries as well, right? Jared Patterson, he's a guy who can fill in if they need one, but I think they could be better served. Now, Ray, what if they went James Cook at 47? Because I think that's a guy that could really fit what they want, right? They brought J.D. McKissic back, but I don't think Isaiah Spiller would be the guy there. I think James Cook could be the guy to complete this running back tandem that they're looking for with a little bit more versatility overall.
If they go James Cook at 47, then that's bad for Gibson. I mean, if they go James Cook at 47, that's bad for Gibson. Like, we're not concerned about Gibson getting the ball on a handoff. What we want is him utilizing the receiving game, right? That's what we want. That's what James Cook is going to do. Now, it seems redundant to have J.D. McKissic and James Cook. That seems like redundant assets to me. So I don't see that happening, and I don't see them. If they take Spiller, Hall, or Walker, that's problematic.
That's
right?
a problem.
That's a problem. Cook, I just don't see it, man. I think they're going to take a guy that profiles like a 3-down running back, but they're not doing that until day 3, man. I just don't. Yeah. They've got other issues that they need to address. And I think adding a running back to that offense, just what does that do for your team? Like, what the hell does that do for your team? The team that I'm interested in, and I do think they're going to take a running back, is Kansas City. I think KC is going to take a running back. I think Kansas City is going to take one. And whomever that player is, I don't know who you think it may be, whomever that player is, you better guarantee that he will shoot up rookie draft boards the moment that the Kansas City Chiefs have selected Tyler Algier, James Cook, Brian Robinson, Isaiah Spiller, Kenneth Walker, Breece, whomever it is, they will shoot up rookie draft boards. And my question to you is, are you falling for the banana in the tailpipe twice? Are you going to fall for it again after being burned so severely in 2020? Would you go back and do that again? Would you tap draft one more time if Kansas City decides to take a running back on day 2 of the NFL draft?
If I could get them in the second round, maybe. I do have a couple teams where I have a lot of draft picks that I'm not so happy with right now in the second round. So if I could, maneuver a trade where maybe it's not an ideal situation, but it's not terrible. And again, my options behind this person are very limited as far as I'm concerned. I would consider it. But I think to your point, chances are that person is not going to be very highly drafted. Like, I think for us especially, one of the big cutoff points in rookie drafts has been James Cook. James Cook's a guy that we want because we think he's going to get drafted high. But after that, it's like we have no idea. We could take Alec Pierce. We could take Juan. It could be anybody at that point. So I think if you're getting him around there, maybe I would consider it. But before that, all the other prospects I think I prefer before that, unless it's like we talked about last time, Isaiah Spiller goes there. We got to have a conversation, right? We got to have a conversation because he's at that point top 8, top 7, top 6, like he should win that job easily. If he doesn't, then we got a larger problem than just is he worth that top 10 draft pick.
All right. So we talked a little running backs, we talked a little wide receivers, we talked a little quarterbacks. One of the things that we have not talked about, Jay, what veteran is on high alert tonight? If you have this player on your roster, this is a good question. Who are you sitting in your chair, clenched up, hoping and praying this player does not land on your team? What veteran do you think is on true notice tonight? And I'm not talking about
veteran is on notice.
That's on notice. That's like, man, we really don't need to take a receiver, or they really don't need to take a running back or a quarterback. Like, what veteran do you think asshole is just clinched tonight on round 1? Like, who do you think that is? I've got one.
Sam Darnold?
Nah, man, that's low-hanging fruit. That's low-hanging. I'll start it off.
If you got one, let me think about it.
I'll give you some time to think about it.
And I'm not 100% sure who I want to go with.
Well, Michael Carter was not who I was going to say, but he was sort of on the list. Yeah. I think the veteran that is on notice, and he's young. He's a young player, but we've kind of talked about this I think Amon-Ra, especially in round 1, is a little bit on notice. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, but if Detroit does somehow if one of those wide receivers falls, to 32, and they do take a first round wide receiver, it spells death for Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's not what I think, but I do think that it definitely tempers and curves some of the enthusiasm that I have for his outlook this season. I just don't want to see it in day 1. I don't want to see it day 1, and I don't want to see it early round 2. If they take a receiver mid to late round 2, round 3, I'm fine. They take one at 32. They take one at the top of the second. I'm a little more. I'm just a little. It's just getting hot. I'm undoing the top button. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, those Amon-Ra shares are a little bad. I think Michael Carter was a fantastic fucking one. I mean, if you've got Michael Carter on your roster today, if you can move them in anticipation of they're going to take a running back at the top of the second. I think they are too. You still got 24 hours to get out of it. A little over 24 hours to get out of it. That's a great one. Michael Carter, I think, is on high alert tonight because the Jets, they tried to bring in James Conner. Michael Carter, he was fine, but I don't think he's a one. I don't think he's a lead back. I don't think he's holding off Kenneth Walker. I don't think he's holding off Breece Hall. I even think Isaiah Spiller would probably be problematic for him as well if he gets the draft capital. So that's a really good one. Michael Carter's on high alert. We saw Clyde stop it. Clyde got buried by Jerick McKinnon. That's fucking over, right? I saw Debro say Ryan Tannehill sneakily. I think Tennessee is another one of those spots at 26. Got to start thinking about the future. Ryan Tannehill, they can get out of him after this season. I don't know if that would be alert because they can just dump him after this year. Where are you at with some guys that should be, their antennas are up tonight? I'm seeing Seattle and Rashad Penny. Who do you think it is?
It's funny because the guy that actually keeps popping into my brain as I'm just like going through the teams. I mean, Antonio Gibson, I think, has to be one of them because I do think when you're bringing in all these running backs, he should be a little bit concerned. But the guy that I think could get replaced in this draft sneakily is DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins' contract is almost $30 million, right? And for a guy who supremely talented, it's probably not necessarily worth it at this point. And Arizona has been mocked, Treylon Burks and like other high-end wide receivers. I do believe that Treylon Burks is the only one that could really take over that role. But that's a guy that, not to say he's going to be replaced for year 1, but Kyler may just be like, yo, look, this dude's not on the field that much. He's great when he's around. He's not on the field that much. And for the GM and for the front office, he's a guy they can eventually want to get rid of because I don't know how many more years he has on his contract, but he's a guy that could be on the hot seat because if they draft a receiver and he's playing good and all of a sudden he may be looking around like, what am I going to do? Because he doesn't have the security of Devontae Adams.
Can I raise you an Arizona receiver? I think Rondale Moore, more so than DeAndre Hopkins.
Rondale Moore.
No, think about it. Because a lot of people are saying like, this is the year. Christian Kirk is out of the way. I think Rondale Moore is more on notice than Nuke. There's no way they're going to bench Nuke, right? Like he's not.
No.
I think that's a good pick, right? I like where you're going with it. But I'd say Rondale Moore is the one who's even more on notice. DeAndre Hopkins is already on the back 9 of his career. Already, right? Like he's 31 years old, I believe. DeAndre Hopkins, 31, 32, something like that. Don't quote me on that. Look that up for me real quick, Jay Rich. He's already there. But a lot of people are, how old is Nuke?
He's not even 30. He's turning 30 very soon, though. He's not even 30.
Shit. Nuke's not even 30?
Yeah, he's young. He's young. But he only played 10 games last season.
Yeah, well, I think Rondale is the one because some people have bought into, Rondale's resurgence this year. And I love Rondale Moore. Love the talent. Big fan of him. But if they bring in a receiver, I think that spells more trouble for Rondale Moore than it does DeAndre Hopkins, right? Like I think that would pretty much pencil Rondale in as just a gadget guy, man. Just to throw it to him behind the line of scrimmage. Nuke,
more of the same, right?
Yeah, more of the same shit that he did last year. So I think I love where you were going with it with Arizona, but I'd raise you Rondale Moore over DeAndre Hopkins as hot seat. Like that is where that's problematic.
Nuke does have an out though. Nuke has an out after this season. He's got a 30 mil cap hit next year and an 18 mil dead cap. So they'll save 12 million if they cut him or trade him or whatever after the season. So he'll probably get restructured. Realistically, Kyler would probably want him there. But it's interesting, because he's been there for a long time, but his contract isn't as secure as obviously some of the other elite receivers. And if for some reason he does get hurt or something happens this year again, where do they go with Nuke? Just because, again, he's not really on the field as much as he could have been. But yeah, him, Antonio Gibson, and then obviously Marcus Mariota.
Patrick.
Gabe Davis. I don't know.
Patrick, I like it. He said Gabe Davis clinched up. Clinched. When you're riding in the car with your girlfriend or your wife because they can't drive and you're just clinched up over there and you're just like, watch the road. That's what Gabe Davis is doing. At least maybe that's just the Ray GQ household. Maybe that's just my household, but boy, I don't like riding with her at all. At all. None. But man, I'm clinched up, man. I think Gabe Davis, everyone's predicting this Gabe Davis breakout.
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Think about it, man. It's funny. The narrative was early on, Jameson Williams to Buffalo, one of these receivers to Buffalo. Then it switched to the running back. Man, Gabe Davis, where's our keep trade cut? Where's keep trade cut have Gabe Davis valued?
Remember when people were trading first for Gabe Davis?
Yeah, man. I remember. First for Gabe Davis. That was a good one. One. Yeah. Tired and I'm still dry. I'm with you, Shane. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it, man. I can't do it with it. Jay, I got to ask you about your team. We talked about the Cowboys. New England. What are they doing?
I'm praying they trade down, man. I'm praying. They're one of the teams that's been looking to trade down. They're looking for another Mike linebacker badly, man. They need one in a bad way. And they obviously would like Nakobe Dean, but there are the issues of the size, and they prefer the bigger body. The Jared Mayos, the Donta Hightowers. Unfortunately, they can't draft Will Anderson this year, but I'm sure that Bill will be praying that he can get up there to get him next year. So we'll see what happens. I feel like Devin Lloyd is the perfect fit, and I could see that somewhere that they potentially go, as well as looking at cornerback, right? They're still looking to replace J.C. Jackson. Andrew Booth maybe be there. McDuffie's probably already gone unless they trade down and want to go after Elam. We know that Bill likes SEC corners. He drafts them over and over and over, so I could see that happening. But I think linebacker or corner are the two places we're looking right now. I'm hoping they trade down, get some more draft capital. I don't know if you saw that Bill traded his 5th-round pick for a 6th and 7th. So I'm intrigued to see what he plans on doing to maximize his draft capital over the next couple of days. But yeah, I think for the first, hoping for a trade down, maybe even to the 2nd round, get some more draft capital. And then even I would love them to take one of the big safeties in Petre or Berkser. I would absolutely love that for New England. I think pairing him in New England over there would just be match made in heaven.
You talking about Treylon?
I don't know.
You said Burks, Treylon?
No, Jaquan Berkser.
Oh, yeah, the safety. Yeah.
I think either of those guys would be a great fit in New England to be that free safety that they play with. And then they have Duggar, right, to be kind of the more fluid guy as a strong safety. I think that'd be a great fit. But again, we'll see. And those are kind of the 3 spots that they need a defensive back. They just keep losing them over and over.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I want to see Slade Bolden, man. We need to have Gunner and Gunner. Yeah. We need Gunner, Slade Bolden, and we need Gunner Shevsky to be just flying down the sidelines on punts. That's just what we need in New England.
All right, that was written the day that he was born and decided to play wide receiver. I mean, it was written that he was going to be a New England Patriot. I mean, that if I had any lock of the draft, it's Slade Bolden will be selected by New England on day 3. I think Jaquan Brisker is his name. I know it's kind of hard to say, but he's good. I think there's a lot of safeties. Jalen Petrie, probably my favorite safety in this class. Not saying he's better than Kyle Hamilton or Daxton Hill, but I think Jalen Petrie's played linebacker his first 3 years at Baylor, converts to safety, was first-team All-American, plays the star position, reminds me a lot of the Big 12 version of Tyrann Mathieu. In a conference that rarely plays defense, Jalen Petrie was phenomenal. So I would love for Dallas if we could somehow trade down and pick up a Jalen Petrie in the 2nd. I would absolutely love it. Everyone's saying Buffalo and Breece Hall. That will be the pick that we will make sure that we are locked and loaded on the stream to follow what Buffalo does. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to take Breece. But let's end with this. Buffalo takes Breece Hall. And we got to get to the super chat. That is a real super chat. We will get to the super chats in a minute. Buffalo takes Breece Hall. What happens? What happens to his dynasty value?
Well, what's crazy is where is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? Is it gonna go up?
Yes.
Is he jumping to tier 1 on Buffalo?
Yes.
Because He's valued as a top 10 pick right now. Which
doesn't matter, man. It's going to go up even more.
You know what he's going? He's leapfrogging your boy, Javonte. Javante's gone now. If you see, it'd be straight up JT, Najee Harris, Breece Hall. Lock it in. It would have to be.
All right.
It'd have to be. With Melvin Gordon there, it would have to be.
Super chat time. We appreciate y'all. From Rico Stone, absolutely love this show. Thank you for your authentic content. Ray, I'll let you off the hook for our topos if you like, if you are willing to admit that I was right tomorrow. What were you right about, Rico? You know me. I'll admit I was wrong. Tell me who I was wrong. Who are you right about? I will admit it. We appreciate the love. Thank you, Rico. And I appreciate you tapping in the show like we talked about earlier this morning. Here goes one from AJ. What's AJ say? Super chat. Let's give him the happy draft day. Here's $5 for you, Ray. None of that Canadian bull crap. That's what I'm talking about. Can't wait to see these landing spots. And I want to see it. Let me see it, light son. I love it, man. Like, thank you, AJ. Appreciate it. We got another one from Evan. What's Evan got to say? Would you trade the 112, 205, 210, and Emeka Ibuka for the 102? Yeah,
I probably would.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, 102, sure. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'd make that deal. Hell yeah, I'd make that deal. What else do we have? I think we got one right here. Kid G Money. My rookie draft is Saturday. Is this the one that did we talk about this one? Is this one from yesterday? Or is this today? Guess it's today. My rookie draft is Saturday. All right. 1 QB, 12 team, full PPR league. I have 107, 110. I have my eyes on Spiller, Olave, and JMO. Which route should I go? Let me say this. Kid G Money, come back tomorrow. We're so close to getting some landing. So come back tomorrow. You do not have to re-ask this. You don't have to give another super chat question. We got time. We're streaming tomorrow as well and tomorrow night. Come back tomorrow. Just be like, yo, GQ, can you answer my question from yesterday today? I'll give you some better advice tomorrow after we see where Olave and JMO go. So Kid G Money, we will save this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna screenshot this because I got you. I'm a man of my word, unlike Jay Rich.
It's in the show sheet right now.
All right, you got it in the show sheet. We'll answer his question tomorrow. James, what's up, baby? Which vet should we be buying low after a rookie is added to their team and their perceived value drops? Great question. I think an obvious one are anywhere the receivers land, right? So Philadelphia, they take J-Mo, people out on Devontae Smith, go get Devontae Smith. The Jets, they draft Drake London or Garrett Wilson. Oh, man, Elijah Moore, I don't know. Yeah, go buy Elijah Moore, right? Go get Elijah Moore. Saints, not
Alan
really.
Lazard is a guy I really want to get.
Who?
If the Packers... Alan Lazard. If the Packers draft a receiver, I think that will tank his value more than it already has, and he could be an insane. Like at that point, you might get him for a 4th round pick, right? Because no one's going to want.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. If the Packers take Olave, it's like, or just say it's Treylon or it won't be J-Mo, but Jahan Dotson, Christian Watson, Alan Lazard is dead, right? Alan Lazard is still going to start, and he's got rapport with Aaron Rodgers. And like you said, you're only trading a 4th probably rounder to get him. That's a really good answer, Jay Rich. Good shit. I like that. And look at this, man. I've never even seen the super chat look this color. Ooh. Look at this right here. This is love. Trey, just wanted to show some love and let y'all know I appreciate what you do. Thanks for getting my day started on a positive note during the week. Much love. He's got a South Carolina Gamecocks thing in his background. Yo, check this out, Trey. I got South Carolina tatted on me right here because that's where old GQ was born, baby. No one really knows that, right? My mom was passing through and dropped me off at the hospital in South Carolina. So that's where I was born. So we appreciate $100 super chat.
Thank you, bro.
No, that's mine. You get the other ones. I get this one. Thank you, Trey. I appreciate that sincerely. No, we appreciate it, man. This goes to our content creators. That's super, super dope. Somebody said Brian Edwards.
Oh,
ugh, Elwood.
No.
No.
People still think he has life. Oh, man.
No. But listen.
People will believe anything.
Listen, so much draft content today. We appreciate y'all starting your day off with us. We will be back later this evening. Just tap in, man. You're watching the draft. You don't want to hear Mel Kiper and Todd McShay talk that shit. Come tap in. me, Jay Rich, Ben Eby, the 4D Chess guys, Gene, Jordan Backus, Matt Broom. We're going to have a bunch of people on the stream tonight. Tap in. What time do we start, Jay? Like 6:50, something like that, right before the draft?
I have it set for 7:45 Eastern time, so Ray, 6:45 for you. We may start a little bit earlier. We'll definitely announce it on Twitter, so just stay tapped in around 7 o'clock. We'll announce the official start time, but go check out the video. It's in the link to the description, so make sure you hit the alerts on that and drop a like on it so we want to get as many people in here as we can. So tell your friends, tell your people, share it on Twitter.
Yo,
we want to have the biggest draft screen across the industry. Did
you notice I disabled the comments from the video yesterday? That was the worst idea I've ever had, to tell people to guess the 5 picks. The worst fucking idea I've ever had in the show. The stone worst thing I could have ever done. I had to disable the comments because I was like, who's going to read through all this shit? I'm going to hire somebody just to read through the submissions and see who got it right. But as always, we love y'all. Come back, bring your drink, bring your smoke, bring whatever you need to do to get you through the draft. We will be here tonight. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Jay Rich won't be here in the morning, but he'll be back tomorrow night to go through the draft. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Man, this is going to be dope, man. Enjoy the content today, and we'll be back later tonight. We'll see y'all later. We out. Peace.